I'm tired. Exhausted. Like I simultaneously ran a marathon and crammed for calculus all while drinking a gallon of vodka.
Ah, college.
I'm in a state of hangover in a world where hangovers never let up. That was it, huh? Using what little mental effort I can muster, I try to find the contradiction that would unravel Fisher's explanation into what it must be. A story. A tale to scare children out of venturing too deep into the woods. A bold-faced lie. His words and phrases come to me out of order, at random. Some words are suspicious. Behind some words, there's hidden information, hidden threats. And yet, nothing else explains what I've gone through in the past week. Nothing that isn't more outlandish. How ridiculous. How fucking absurd of me to ever doubt Ian and his gang of Scooby-Doos. Of course all the History Channel Ghost Hunters shit is real. Fisher said to think it over, so I do. I think myself a new headache on top of the old one. I think until I'm no longer capable. When that happens, I crawl under my blankets and sleep instead. Once I'm done sleeping, I turn over and go back to sleep. I sleep forever, beautifully, uninterrupted, as though I had never slept before. When I can't sleep anymore, I'm not well rested. Every bone, every piece of cartilage and sinew throughout my body is buzzing for attention. I lie on my back, unable to twist in any which way to make myself comfortable, and look at the bottom of the vacant bunk above. I memorize every square inch of the mattress fabric over the dim light coming in through the window from the street lamps below. I survey the weld on the frame. Once I'm satisfied, I turn to the wall. The grooves and the sloppy paint job keep my attention for hours. Then, at 5:31, a catastrophe. I'm bored. Bun, bun, bun!
Oh, man. Get on TikTok. You'll never be bored again, Spencer. You'll never be happy again either, but you'll never be bored.
I was like, that's a lot of narration for someone who's ever slept. For somebody who's actually sleeping well, which is that they're not.
Yeah.
It's when somebody's sleeping well, nothing. Oops, we're here. Night's over.
Have you heard of a dream?
He wasn't doing that either.
I know.
Unless he's dreaming about being in a bed, sleepy. That's it.
Real imaginative.
Imagine having a dream about struggling to sleep.
Oh, like, wow. That sounds fucking horrible. A dream about insomnia.
Yeah. Like, what do you even do with that? What a cool situation I've gotten myself into. 4 brain-dead security guards, 5 car crashes, the entire town losing a chunk of their IQ.
And a partridge in
a pear tree. That's on me, huh? I did that. Fisher said I did that. I did not know I did that, but if Fisher isn't lying, I did do that. I did that and that's it? No repercussions? Should I be getting my ass thrown in jail for the rest of my life? Fisher certainly behaved as if it's nothing. Meet me in a week for some tea and cookies as if that's just the norm. How many people have been fucking with the gate? How often? Were they more or less careful than I had been? Didn't Andrew say that insane shit has been going on in his town for as long as he can remember? God. I sit up in my bed, and it takes a few seconds for my nervous system to stab into my lower back. It's gotten hard enough to think that even pain comes slowly. Many thoughts come to me, but I can't engage with any of them. Like I'm trying to grab something at the bottom of a river, but instead of water, it's a river of clay. That's what it must feel like to have your brain fried. And Kurt is supposedly even worse off? Is it permanent? Am I gonna feel like shit forever? Will I even be able to get a degree with half a functioning brain? I cough out a mute little laugh. What am I saying? Do I expect Fisher to keep paying me to stay here? He's planning to fucking kill me. It's so obvious. My cooperation will give him peace of mind. Fuck off. I'm not cooperating with some evil, smirking grandpa. He knows for a fact I won't. This is too much. I'm in way over my head. I gotta get out of here. He told me to get out of here. Either get out of here or die. These were the options I was presented with. There's nothing left to do, so screw all this, I guess. I want to go back home. I want to see Mom again. Hope she doesn't notice I can't do basic arithmetic anymore. I'll book a plane first thing in the morning. There's nothing here for me anymore. Ian kisses. Nope. Well, no, that's not true. I feel like if I was the government, I would use this gate to, like, figure out who every single, like, person is that doesn't have a mirror or that's ruining or that's fucking with things. And, like, you would just hunt them all down, right?
Yeah, no,
like the
government
X-Men.
is way too relaxed about, like fucking, if the...
Instead of guards, how about a few more security measures for each of these doors?
How about a fucking tank?
That seems like, well, that'd be hard to fit in the school.
Well,
and given the basement door,
make a bigger parking lot for the tank then.
Flatten the entire building. Just very overtly turn this place into like Area 52. Why the fuck was Andrew watching it?
Because he had to set up a safe space for them.
No, I mean, why was Andrew assigned to watching the door before? That's the weird part.
Because if he found out, he would go blab. Huh? What? Wait a minute.
He was seemingly assigned there.
Yeah.
Ultimately by Fisher, I guess.
That doesn't make any sense because Fisher doesn't trust Andrew.
They took the guards away and then had Andrew looking, seemingly to make it possible for Spencer to go through the gate, I guess.
Oh, you think it could have been a diversion, maybe?
I don't know what his plan is. Well, no, that's not true. There is one thing. The other Spencer. Fisher claims he doesn't know why I tried to kill him, but that can't be right, can it? He's spoken about killing me to my face, as though it was nothing. There's no way he'd get shy about something like that. Part of me doesn't care anymore. Some things are better left unknown, it tells me. It would be a waste of time. There's nothing I can do about it either way. Another part of me is screaming. The reason I've gotten so deep in this shit is because I shoved my head in the sand. What have I got to lose? There isn't any complicated planning. There's virtually no risk. All I have to do is walk up to him and ask. He'll tell me. Afterwards, I'll pack my shit and fly home.
Spencer!
It's been a while, Ian.
Hi, long time no, are you okay?
I'm fine. Hey, Ian, how good are you keeping a secret?
What? It's 11 inches. You know what I'm talking about.
11 inches. That's why you kept staring at it. Well, now I know. Do you know anywhere quiet? Somewhere that isn't under a bridge. I got a hell of a story to tell you. It's dropping that on Ian like it's the fucking post-credit scene.
Yeah.
We drive west through downtown. High-rise buildings give way to suburban houses. At their edge, right as the signs thank us for visiting Rockland, Ian curves into a street. Not 100 yards pass before paved road becomes gravel. Ian carefully navigates around the multitudes of under-construction barriers as entire blocks of scaffolding and bare concrete surround us. Then, suddenly, we emerge out onto a state road. The depth of the cracks in the asphalt speak on how ancient this place must be. 20 years. This place has a real particular vibe. This is surreal.
It kind of looks like it's made out of plastic. Like it's a little plastic set or something.
It has the tilt shift photography look to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about it feels tiny. Like I feel like I'm looking at something that's actually like 2 inches tall in reality.
Yeah. It's cold out here, but not entirely unpleasant. Despite the narrow shoestring budget build, the bus stop succeeds in keeping us out of the weather.
Woohoo!
The perfect horizontal drizzle lightly taps on the tin, making a hum like an old TV stuck between channels. I don't need to raise my voice to tell my tale to Ian. And I do tell him. At first I mask the details, but he huhs and he uh-huhs at all the right places, asks all the right questions. I tell him what I've already told him so many times before. I tell him the stuff that's new, the things that I didn't yet have time to digest. Once I start talking, I can't stop. I'm back from the dead now, and I want him to know.
That's a story.
That it is. He flips the charm in his palm back and forth.
And you're saying I'll remember it this time around?
If you remember it tomorrow, then you remember it forever, as far as I can tell.
Whoa. Huh.
Sorry, it sounds like bullshit.
It's not that. No. Not a chance. I believe you. I think. I've never heard a more convincing account in my life. It's just that...
He remains silent for a minute. I don't want to interrupt him. I just confirmed that his wacky conspiracy theories are real and admitted to some pretty awful shit all at the same time. God knows I'd be at a loss for words.
Aw. He don't look happy, no.
What's the verdict?
The verdict, huh? Gosh, I don't know. Like, you know all those stories about farmers getting abducted and probed by aliens? There's stories just like that. Like, you're the center of this massive government cover-up and it's all a ploy to let swamp gas out of your ass. It's all a little...
He makes a twisty gesture with his hand.
You get what I'm saying? And I can't tell anyone because the world will end?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe. Probably. Not in any fun way. Either that or the CIA gets our asses. Or Fisher does.
I see.
What?
That's the part that gets me the most, you know? I've been following this stuff for years and I've never heard of this guy. Not until he approached me a couple of weeks ago to threaten me out of the blue.
Well, that's his trick with the gate, right? One of the worlds gets overwritten, so he literally scrubs himself out of history.
Oh. Sorry. I wonder about that.
What do you mean?
Why would he decide to suddenly start approaching people so personally? How come both of us remember that he never showed up to deliver a speech? How come such a person afford to speak to me and you and a dozen of other people? If he really is the cause of everything, if he's the poltergeist, that's just not how he behaves, and besides, don't things leak? Isn't that what he told you in so many words? It doesn't align with what's been going on. Parts of your story, Spencer.
He forcefully shoves the charm into his pocket. What parts?
Never mind.
No, never mind.
I just don't want you to... It sounds like you're a dumbass right now. I don't know how to say it any nicer.
Can you even do math anymore?
Do you remember how we met, Spencer? The crazies we've been interviewing and the written down stuff that's been left behind? There's a reason we've always thought of it as some kind of entity. If what you're saying is true, we were right on the money about that. Most of our high-quality accounts refer to someone or something that they can't quite recall. All of them, when you think of it. Anyway, suppose that's it.
What a nightmare to say. I suppose that's that. Evil. English is evil.
I suppose that's it.
What's that? What's what?
I'll handle the group. If I can't tell them anything, then I'll have to come up with something to distract them with. Tell them that your involvement in it is all a big misunderstanding and is entirely benign.
Will they believe that?
Not likely. Thanks for trusting me with us.
I can't follow him at all. Did I somehow miss half of what he was telling me? Is he mad at me or not? The gate must have fucked with my head after all. I'm gonna miss his stupid smile.
Same.
Don't mention it.
Feel like watching anything? Got a couple episodes downloaded on my phone.
Just like that, huh? Maybe in a bit. There's something I want to ask you first.
Me? Why? You got any more earth-shattering revelations?
I'm hesitating. All the head voices who were screaming so loudly before are now silent. My tongue feels heavy in my mouth, and I'm once again aware of the pain that's everywhere. I pretend to stretch by slowly planting my palms on my knees. This is fear. Sort of. I recognize it as fear. What am I suddenly so afraid of? It's just Ian. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's a hole in my story. I was hoping, that you would be able to help me with that.
A hole?
It's me. The day I died, do you remember it? My heart skips a beat. Smile's gone.
Meow. I do. What of it?
I have to keep going. There's nothing to lose. Let's get it done. Sorry to pressure you about it, but you mentioned it before. We were friends for longer than I remember. And you were with me right before I died. It's just that no one is able to tell me what happened back then. Figured I should ask, if you don't mind. The sound of rain occupies the air for a while. Ian sits hunched over, staring into the bushes opposite to us. I have no choice but to stare at them as well. I tried calming myself down while he's thinking, why do my hands feel so weak? It's just this one loose end that's remaining. Once it's done, I'll be free.
Yeah. We were together. On the day you died. The night before it, I mean. Damn. You know, I could tell you were going to ask about that. After telling me about the gate and the world and Fisher, yeah, there's no way you wouldn't. Kinda didn't expect to be going into that today, though. You got me a little off guard.
My fingers grip down on my knees. You don't have to if you don't want to. I bite down on my tongue. I didn't mean to say that.
Is that really what you think, Spencer? I don't expect you to recall this, since apparently we've been seeing each other all the time in, the other world. But, from my perspective, you've been gone for a couple of weeks now. Do you happen to remember what was the last thing you told me before you disappeared? We're mature adults. That's what you told me. You were talking about your dick. Oranges. I've been thinking about your dick a lot, you know?
That's what I thought he was meaning to. About my dick?
About being more upfront about uncomfortable stuff, you jerk. After we had that conversation, after I told you about the group and everything, I thought I'd messed up. You stopped showing up to class almost immediately, and you never responded to messages or picked up your phone. Was that my fault? Right up until 20 minutes ago, I thought it was.
It wasn't.
That is a relief. But I won't lie to you, Spencer. At first, it hurt really bad. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized you were right. Nothing would have improved had we not spoken about it at the time, or worse, had we decided to pretend nothing was going on at all. What you told me just now, the whole situation with this Fisher person, only goes to show how true that is. No. I think I must tell you what happened that day. After you asked me about it, that genie ain't going back in the bottle. I straight up owe it to you.
I gay up owe it to you.
Most of the time, anyway. Or most of it, anyway. Whoops.
My stomach tightens. Maybe I should have kept my idiot mouth shut. Most of it. I mean, it's hard to keep going after 8.
Give me a minute. You'll see.
He puffs his cheeks out and slowly exhales.
Cool trick, right? Alright, so let's roll back to a couple of weeks after orientation. The big picture is that you and we've been hanging out for a few days by that point. I'd shown you what me and the group have been up to. Like, about the town and all the mysteries going on. In hindsight, you being friendly with that Fisher guy at the time explains why you were interested in what I had to say. But back then, it isn't every day that you meet someone who's that enthusiastic about the paranormal. The opposite, actually, most often. I figured you definitely want to join the group, so I spared no details. That day, I showed you something you didn't like. I thought it over so many times that the memory is etched into the back of my skull. But the short of it is that you stood up and walked away. Just like that.
Just like what? Walked away where? Did I say anything?
Sure didn't.
What did you show me? 79 yards.
How's that for 11 inches? See, that's the part I didn't want to tell you.
It's a Doctor Who episode that weirdly has the premise.
I think I remember what you were talking about. Yeah. What do you think happened after you walked off that day?
Oh.
Yeah?
You think whatever you showed me got me killed? It led to him picking up the rock and going at him. He takes his hand out of his jacket and feels for his phone in his pants pocket. It lightly thuds against the metal seat.
Yes, that is what I think. I spent weeks trying to figure out what exactly made you take off the way you did. I mean, I have some ideas, but...
He leans back and looks at the roof of the bus station as he takes a deep breath.
Mere hours after I discovered your body, you came right back from the dead, behaving as if nothing happened. As if you didn't know who I was. So I told the group about it, and they kind of took it in a way I didn't think they would. They weren't confused or terrified or anything like I was. They were excited. I don't know what to do or what to think, so I just joined them.
Normal. Was that when you were doing your little investigation about me? Did you find anything?
Well, we did, but...
But what?
We never figured out how you were connected to that. Why did that make you flip out?
What's that? His shoulders tighten.
You're being awfully cool about this, don't you think? Can you really not see why I'm dancing around it?
What? You're assuming the same thing will happen again? Don't worry about it.
How can I not?
I scratch the back of my neck. This is getting stupid. It isn't worth it to make him go through this just to sate my curiosity. I should stop. It's a bit of a leap to assume that is all. Just because one thing happens, and then another thing happens, doesn't mean they're related.
What if they are, though?
What are the chances?
You kidding? Like 100%.
I can change the subject anytime. I could tell him, you know what, you're right, and forget all about it. I'll risk it. I'm not the same Spencer that died that day.
You'll risk it? Spencer, I'm telling you clear as day that you'll die. You didn't believe me when sorry. I think my voice is starting to give a little bit.
Oh no.
Man.
Death of bird.
It's okay. Yeah. You didn't believe me I said you were a ghost or whatever either. A ghost of whatever. Can you please cut me some freaking slack?
I think my entire chest cavity tries to pull the words from leaving my mouth. I think I have to know. Do I? Fisher killed me. He killed me and he's saying it was in self-defense, that I tried to kill him first. I can't stop thinking about it. The gate punched holes in my memory, so much so that I can only recall bits and pieces of the past year. That other Spencer? He's me, but he's also literally not. I don't know the things he knew. And it haunts me that I'm not him, and yet I'm the same person in a sense. What could possibly be so important to me that I'd try to kill someone over it? Besides, I'm totally bracing for it. I promise I won't run off and get myself killed. My jaw tightens. Why must he keep looking at me like that?
Spencer, I'm not stupid. I know that it must be important to you. It's just that... You don't get it, do you? Can't even begin to imagine how relieved I was when you showed up at the 7-Eleven that evening. I don't know what to make of you. Like, who were you, actually? You behaved as if you didn't know me, as if you fell right out of the sky. But then in there, I couldn't care less because you were alive. You don't know what it's like. Not to get overly sentimental, but remember when you asked me about the time I crashed my car? My family, Andrew, everyone is saying it's an act of God. Could happen to anyone. They forgive me, and that sort of thing. But my brother, you know, none of that will bring him back. None of that changes that I killed him. And then I killed you. Don't you get what I'm saying? You want me to kill you again? Spencer, you kinda suck. Damn, Ian.
Okay.
You did not need to go there, dude.
He's shaking. I'm barely able to keep my breathing steady. My stomach feels like it's being wrung inside out. Just tell me what it is so we can be done with it. You didn't kill anyone. I got my own damn self killed. And it won't happen a second time, I swear.
Not gonna let it go, huh? Guess I tried my best. It's a freaking forum post.
Oh no, I'm gonna kill myself.
That's what killed you. A forum post.
Ian fumbles with his phone while scratching at his eyes with the sleeve of his jacket. Cell phones used to be so small.
Yeah, I don't like small cell phones because I drop them constantly.
They started so small and very quickly I was like, how are these going to fit in your pocket when they start getting bigger?
And the answer is, they barely do.
Mm-hmm. Teal fills up Ian's phone screen. His eyes dance around the page for a minute, then he clicks the screen off and puts the phone back down.
Christ. Okay. A couple years ago, a bunch of shit went down. Like, it was crazy. Shootings, a massive fire in the middle of downtown. The entire jury for a minor breaking and entering case all died in 3 separate accidents. Those are just 3 things that happened at the height of it, but they all happened within the span of 1 week. The police launched an investigation on all of them, but but as with everything else that's been happening, they ended up finding nothing. Thing is, the whole year has been like that.
Was that when the car crash rate tripled?
Yeah. You know about it?
You told me.
Oh. Right, of course. Ah, I see. You were asking me about it, and I was showing you bits and pieces of what we managed to dig up. There was a lot. That is, a lot of news articles were written during that time, and some of them went into great detail. There was almost any follow-up, though. They report on something, and the police would find nothing, only for something else to happen after a few days to take everyone's attention away. That is what 2008 was like over here.
And then it stopped, right?
Yeah. Right before Christmas, everything stopped. You wanted to know about that.
He softly clears his throat.
Ahem. We went through a lot of material. I can't remember how we got here, but it seemed like one case in particular got your attention. Something that happened in April that year. A medical specialist from out of state had been called in to help the local sheriff's office. By that point, things had gotten scary bad. I was still in rehabilitation at the time, but I remember my mom asking me to never be out past 8. It seemed appropriate for the country to start bringing experts in. That was the first article. I gotta call it. This is, I don't know when this is gonna end, but this conversation feels very long and my throat feels very dead.
Yeah, I was like, we're like at the 2-hour mark and it's getting awkward where I'm like, I can't tell if the scene's gonna end soon because it's time to call it. And I'm like, any minute now.
Let's
I'm
just
like,
call it.
And it feels like it's just gonna go
going.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, yep, we're out of time
Alrighty.
this week. That's just what happens.
See you. Yeah.
See you guys.